Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sip and Talk with me and, with me and my partner in crime here.
He means me.
Yeah, her.
Hopefully crime-free this week, at least for me.
Yeah, for her. Me, not so much.
Oh no, what happened?
So I tried to fix a leaky faucet. Let's just say it did not go as planned. I kind of look like I wrestled a squid. There's water everywhere.
At least it's just water, right?
Yeah, mostly just water. Anyway, enough about my plumbing woes.
Indeed.
Today we are going deep on something that you might have seen online or maybe even experienced yourself, especially if you've traveled a bit.
For sure.
We're talking about those sometimes super strong reactions that come from some people from mainland China.
Yeah.
When Taiwan is treated like its own country,
Yeah.
like a separate place.
Yeah.
You know, and these folks, they're often called little pinks. In Mandarin, it's E.
Right.
And this is a term that honestly you might not, it's become more common, but maybe this is new to you. So we're going to break down what this is all about, look at all the different sides, and maybe even, share some of the funny ways Taiwanese people sometimes deal with these kinds of situations.
Yeah, like how to handle it with a little bit of humor.
Exactly. So to get a good handle on this, we did our research, YouTube, news articles, you name it. We watched these discussions with people from China and Taiwan, even some foreign professors chiming in. We read about what it means to be labeled as like humiliating China, which is...
Oh, yeah. That one comes up a lot.
Right. And we tried to figure out the bigger picture, like, why is this even a thing?
Yeah, like what's the historical context?
Exactly. Okay, so who are these little pinks then? Like, really, what are we talking about?
Okay, so little pinks, or bria, it actually started as a way to describe this online group of young women in China.
Really?
Who were super patriotic, very nationalistic, like really active online.
Yeah.
But the term has kind of grown. Yeah. Now it means basically any Chinese internet user who's like extremely patriotic.
Super into their country.
Yeah. Hyper patriotic. You know, the ones who are always online, defending China, supporting the Communist Party.
Oh, so like the ones who are always in the comments, super fired up.
Exactly. And they're really big on these online like crusades, which are called show. They can get really intense. And another thing is they are super sensitive to anything they see as negative towards China.
Like even the smallest criticism.
Yeah, even something small or anything that says Taiwan's separate from mainland China. Like that's a huge trigger for them.
It's like a red flag. Boom.
Yeah. And you know, there are these phrases, they use them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Humiliating China. That's ochil. And then, well, sometimes it gets a lot worse.
Like what? What do they say?
Like exterminate your whole family. That's uche. Or, and this one's pretty vulgar, your mother is dead.
Whoa. Okay, that's intense. So it's serious business for them.
Very serious. And, you know, it seems like for them, if you don't totally agree with the Chinese government, their whole patriotic view...
You're in trouble.
Yeah, you're basically humiliating China to them.
Like no middle ground.
Nope. In some of the news articles we saw, they got really upset when Taiwan was even just called a country, you know?
Even just mentioned.
Yeah, like in a movie plot or something a celebrity said. Nothing political.
So it doesn't even have to be about real-life politics.
Sure.
Just mentioning it's a trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get who these little pinks are.
A little bit. Yeah.
They're very passionate, let's say. But why Taiwan specifically? Like, what's the root of this strong reaction?
So the big thing seems to be education in China.
Like how they're taught.
Yeah. For a long time now, they've been taught that Taiwan is part of China, period. Like, no question. So imagine you grow up with that as fact, and then you go out in the world.
And it's different.
Yeah. It's like a huge shock.
A reality check.
Totally. It can be hard to accept. And, you know, for you listening, the PRC, the People's Republic of China, they see Taiwan as this province that will eventually be part of mainland China again. Like, they're going to be reunified. But Taiwan doesn't see it that way. And a lot of other countries don't either. It's this leftover issue from the Chinese Civil War, and the PRC still says Taiwan is theirs based on this one China policy.
Which means?
Basically, it means they think Taiwan is like this rebellious province.
That needs to come back.
Yeah, but Taiwan's like, nah, we're doing our own thing.
So it's a complicated history.
Irate.
And it's still playing out today. So back to the little pinks. You mentioned humiliating China again. Is that a big reason why they get so upset about Taiwan?
Totally. This idea of humiliating China, it's huge.
And it's easily triggered.
Oh, yeah. And for people outside of China, it can seem kind of ridiculous.
Like what counts as humiliating?
We saw so many examples. This Marvel director, she just mentioned that when she was a kid, China was seen as a land of lies. like not trustworthy.
And that was it.
Boom, humiliating China. Then there was the movie Shang-Chi. Some people thought the casting was stereotypical.
And that's insulting how?
They thought it made China look bad. So it's not always about, like, actual bad things. It's more about how something makes China look.
In their eyes.
Yeah, like if it hurts their national image or goes against their historical story.
So it's about perception.
Very much so.
Okay, so even a movie can be a problem.
Yeah.
What else have we seen?
Oh, so much. This celebrity wore Dolce & Gabbana.
The fashion brand.
Yeah, but there was a controversy with them in China a while back, like years ago.
So they held a grudge.
Basically, yeah. So this celebrity wears their clothes and bam, outrage, humiliating China.
Really? Just for wearing clothes?
Yeah, and then there was this tea product that said national certification on it.
Okay.
Apparently that's bad too. John Cena, the wrestler.
Yeah.
He called Taiwan a country in an interview. Huge apology followed.
He had to.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And get this, even using traditional Chinese characters, not the simplified ones.
The ones that use in mainland China.
Yeah. Even that can be seen as humiliating.
Seriously. Traditional characters.
Yeah.
What's next? Chopsticks are offensive.
It's like the bar is so low.
Right. Like anything could be a problem.
Right.
So in one of those YouTube discussions, a professor asked a Chinese student,
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
when has the Chinese Communist Party ever ruled Taiwan?
And guess what?
They didn't know.
Nope, no answer. Which is kind of the whole point, right? The PRC, they've never actually ruled Taiwan.
It's like a huge historical gap.
Exactly. And that's why these clashes happen. They come to other countries, and suddenly the world doesn't match what they were taught.
It's a different reality.
Yeah. And some young Chinese people, they've said it feels like a hostile environment.
Because their worldview is being challenged.
Right. And instead of being like, maybe there's another side, they dig in even more.
It's cognitive dissonance, right? Like holding two conflicting beliefs is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's almost like a reverse culture shock.
What do you mean?
Like usually you go to a new place and you're like, whoa, this is so different. But in this case, they're shocked that everyone else isn't like them.
Oh, that's a really good point. And we can't forget about the role of the government in this.
Yeah, how much are they influencing this?
A lot, probably.
Sure.
If you keep people focused on these external issues,
Like Taiwan, other countries?
then maybe they won't pay so much attention to problems inside China.
It's a distraction.
Could be. And then there's the whole media control thing.
Censorship.
Yeah. In China, you can't get Taiwanese news, no YouTube, no Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok's blocked.
Their Chinese platforms are open in Taiwan.
Exactly. So in China, you're basically only getting the government's version of things. It's hard to see other viewpoints.
And especially to learn about Taiwan from a Taiwanese perspective.
Right. You're just getting one narrative.
A very controlled narrative.
Totally. And then there's the fear of saying the wrong thing.
Like, what if you disagree with the government?
Yeah. We saw stories where people made comments online.
Just random people.
Yeah. Sometimes even jokes.
And they got in trouble.
Yeah, like police showing up at their door.
Whoa, seriously.
So you can see why people don't speak out much. It's risky.
It's like they're stuck in this echo chamber.
Yeah, where everyone's hearing the same thing over and over. Okay, so where do these clashes actually happen? Like in real life, where do the little pinks run into this different view of Taiwan?
Yeah. Give us the scenarios.
Airports, that's a big one. Those self-check-in kiosks or the forms you fill out.
Arrival card, departure card.
Yeah. A lot of times it says Taiwan and China as separate options, like for nationality.
And that's enough.
Oh, yeah. For some people, that's already a huge problem.
It goes against everything they've been taught.
Exactly. Tourist maps, too.
Oh, yeah. What about those?
A lot of places, especially countries that aren't, like, super influenced by China.
They don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. They'll just label it Taiwan.
Straight up.
Or Taiwan, ROC. That's Republic of China.
Okay.
And sometimes they even put the Taiwanese flag on there.
Ooh, adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah. You see that and you're going to get a reaction.
Guaranteed.
Mm.
What about sporting events, like the Olympics?
Oh, definitely. Officially, it's Chinese Taipei.
Right. That's the compromise.
But a lot of times people just say Taiwan.
Like the announcers, the commentators?
Yeah, and just regular people talking about it. So again, it's like Taiwan's being recognized as separate.
Even though they have that official name.
It still highlights the difference.
Interesting. So even the Olympics can be a point of contention.
Big time. And then there are just everyday interactions,
Like just talking to people.
Someone from Taiwan might say, I'm from Taiwan. And someone else is like, cool, I love your bubble tea.
Just a normal conversation.
Yeah, but for a little pink, that can be really jarring because they think, no, you're from China, Taiwan's just a province.
Just that simple statement can cause a problem.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll straight up tell Taiwanese people, you're not a country, you're a province.
Confrontational.
Very. We saw this YouTube video where a hotel employee in Japan told a guest, Taiwan is not China.
Oh, no.
And the guest, probably a little pink, just checked out, like right then and there.
That's extreme.
It shows you how deeply they feel about this. And online, oh man, the arguments are constant.
Internet's a battleground.
Taiwanese people will challenge the PRC's claims and little pinks come in swinging,
Defending their viewpoint.
Yeah. And sometimes they're even afraid of saying too much because they could get in trouble back home.
Even online.
Yeah, even online. So it gets heated.
So airports, maps, casual chats, online debates.
It's everywhere.
It's a minefield. So for our Taiwanese listeners, the ones who might get hit with that, you're just a province line, what can they do? What did our sources suggest?
Humor seems to be the key.
Like, don't get serious, get funny.
Yeah, because if you get into a big argument,
it just escalates.
Exactly. You get labeled as humiliating China, and that's not good. So these suggestions are about pointing out the flaws in their logic, but in a light way.
Clever, sneaky.
That's it. So first, there's the cold joke style.
Okay, what's that one?
So they say, you are just a province, and you hit them with, we even have our own provincial government, super fancy, with a president and vice president. Does your province play like that?
That's good. That's good.
Like really over the top.
Highlighting the absurdity.
Yeah, because Taiwan's obviously way more than just a province.
It operates like a country.
Exactly. Then there's the logic demolition style.
Get those facts ready.
So they say, you are not a country, right? And you're like, oh, then why do I need a visa to go to China? Shouldn't domestic travel be free? And why does it say overseas delivery on Taobao when they ship to Taiwan?
Mic drop.
Like, boom. You just pointed out all these things that make no sense if Taiwan's just a province.
Practical examples.
Everyday life.
Yeah, I like that. What about the daily lifestyle?
This one's similar. They say, you are not a country. And you're like, why do international calls to me need the +886 country code then? You try calling your mom with +86, see what happens.
Oh, implying they need a different code for Taiwan.
Totally. So again, you're pointing out that Taiwan has its own international presence.
That's a bit effective.
Right. Then there's the historical archaeology style.
This sounds deep.
This one's for the history buffs. They're like, you are just rebels, and you hit them with, how come the rebellion hasn't been put down after 70 years then? I thought your powerful country was so strong.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Like questioning their whole narrative.
Yeah, making them think.
And pointing out that Taiwan's been independent for a long time.
De facto independent, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond those specific styles, any other general tips?
Yeah, a few things. You can highlight the difference between the Republic of China, that's Taiwan, and the People's Republic of China, the mainland.
Okay.
Point out that Taiwan has its own president, its own flag, and of course, Taiwanese people can't vote in PRC elections.
Which would be weird if they were just a province.
Right. So again, using humor to expose those contradictions.
It's about being clever, not confrontational.
Yeah. Because those humorous responses, they're less threatening, It's disarming.
Totally. Instead of making them defensive, you're kind of making them think, maybe there's something to this.
A little seed of doubt.
Maybe. So it all comes down to different education and access to information.
Different realities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In China, they're taught one thing, and they really believe it. Then they come face to face with a different world, and it creates this huge clash.
It's a tough situation.
Yeah. But humor can be a bridge,
A way to connect.
Instead of yelling and arguing, you're making them laugh. And maybe that opens their minds a little.
Food for thought. So wrapping up, it's fascinating to see how much our views are shaped by what we're taught, right?
Totally.
And when those views are challenged, it can get intense, especially with something as sensitive as Taiwan's status.
Definitely. So for you listening, think about this. Where else in your life do you see these clashes happening?
Yeah, where do your beliefs maybe not match up with reality?
It's always good to question what we think we know and be open to other perspectives. Words to live by. Well, that was our deep dive into Little Pinks and the whole Taiwan situation. If you're looking for more deep dives of a different kind, check out Mickytolife on YouTube.
Yeah, he's got travel vlogs, whiskey reviews.
Good stuff.
All kinds of things.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.